Hello guys, in this second part of our project, we're going to be building two sections, and they are going to be the card section, the information cards that says 1930 clients, visitors, and those sales. We're also going to have a chart right here that represents our user growth, and also a card right at the right side that shows the new orders from our users. So let's go ahead and get started. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really means the world to me. So the first thing we're going to create here is a div, and it's going to have a class. The class here is going to be containers. Let's use container instead of containers. Then in here we're going to have a main tag. The main tag here is going to have a class. The class here is going to be center container. Then right in here we're going to have a section tag. The section tag is also going to have a class. The class here is going to be info. Let's call it info cards container. Then inside it we're going to have our cards. So to create the first card, we need a main tag. Let's use a div instead. The div is going to have a class, and the class here is going to be card, which we've already created in styles.css in part 1. So inside the card we're going to have our icon. The icons right here, these are actual icons and not images. So for the icon, we've already imported font awesome. So let's just type in FAS FA dash. Let's use calendar check, and now let's see what that looks like. As you can see, our icon is right there. So next, I'm going to create the text. We need a span for the text. The span is going to have a class, and the class here is going to be text. So right inside the span, we need a h3 tag. It's going to have a class. It's going to be info number, and the number inside here is going to be 1930. And outside we're going to have our text that says client. So the class of this paragraph tag is going to be info. Let's call it info type. So that is for our card. You can just copy and paste this a few more times. We have 3 of them right here, so you just paste it 2 times, and that should do it. As you can see, we now have our 2 cards. So let's change the attributes right inside them. So this one, the number we're going to have here is going to be 934. Then the text here is going to be visitors. And for the icon, we're going to use another different icon. This time around, we need our users icon. Users. Let's see if that works. It works. So for the third one, we need let's use 3000. Let's see what we have right there. We have $3,243. So we're going to type in 3,243. Let's see if it works. It does. And the text right inside here is going to be total sales. Total sales. Then let's see what we have right there. It seems we are done with the cards. Let's go ahead and create the content section, the chart, and the new orders card. So to create that, we need to get right outside the info cards section. So right outside here, we're going to create another section, and the class here is going to be content. I'm going to call it content container. Then after that, we need a div right inside it. Create a div inside the section tag, and the class here is going to be order how, which is another class we've already created in styles.css from the part 1 of our video. So let's create a div right inside the other half, and this is going to be for our charts. The class here is going to be charts container. Then inside here we're going to have a span that holds the container header name and description. We're talking about this text right here that says user growth and yearly comparison. So to create that, we need a span. Inside the span, we're going to have a h3 tag, and it's going to have a class. This h3 tags class is going to be card head text. The text inside it is going to be new user growth. Let's call it user growth. Then we're going to have a paragraph right under it. Change this to a p tag, and the text in here is going to be, let's call it yearly. That is wrong. This is going to be yearly comparison. Then the class is also going to be different. Here we need the class to be card description, and that should do it. Now let's create the chart itself. To create the chart, we need a section tag. Let's use main. The ID here, we need an ID for the chart. The ID here is going to be bar chart. Let's see what that looks like. That does not work. I think we need to put our scripts.js tag right under every other scripts tag. Put it there, and that should fix it. This works. Now let's go ahead and create the, let's see what we have here. We have the new others card, which is the next thing we're going to create right now. So the new order is actually a table. We're going to use our table in HTML to create and achieve this look. So all we have to do is get outside, let's see, outside the other half, right outside here, create another div, and the class here is going to be order. Then in here we're going to have a span. The span class is going to be card header. Then in here we're going to have another span. This time around we need a history tag right inside it. This history tag class is going to be card head text, which we already used before. This time around the text is going to be new orders. We also need a paragraph tag after the history tag. So this paragraph tag is going to have the text right in here, and the text this time around is going to be unsettled orders. So let's change the class to card description. So let's see what that looks like. As you can see down here, it's just what we want. And if you're wondering, the card description and the card head text is a style we've already created in CSS to make things easier from the beginning. It doesn't seem to be available right here. There might be a problem. Let's look for it. It's supposed to be up right after the card, just right here, but it's not available yet. But we're going to create it as we progress with the video. So let's see what we have next. Let's create the element inside our new orders. So for the new order, we need to get right inside here after the card header. After the card header, we are going to have, let's see, we're going to have our table tag for the tables. So for the table tag, we need a T head right inside it, and inside the T head we need a TR tag, and the TR tag is going to have TH tag inside it to contain the header text. So in here we're going to have our TH. So we're going to have user. I'll just copy and paste this 3 more times. The last one is going to be price, and here we're going to have status, and the second one is going to be order date. Now let's see what that looks like. As you can see, it's beginning to look good, but we still have much more to do. So next we're going to create, let's see what we have. After the header we have the image and the dates, also the indication and the price. So to achieve that look, we just need to get outside the header, and outside the header we're going to have another TR right here. Actually we need a T body tag after the TH. This T head tag is for the header. So let's close this, get outside the header, and create a T body. This is going to be the body of our table. So right inside the T body we need a TR tag, and it's going to have a TD tag right inside it. So inside the TD tag we're going to create our image. So the image source is going to be an image I already have. I'm going to use this. After that we need a paragraph tag, and it's going to have a class. We don't need a class right here, we just need the text. So the text here is going to be the name that says Steve Jacobs. This is going to be Steve Jacobs. Then after this we are going to create our price. That's the price. We're going to create the date next. This is the date after the name. So here we're going to have 01 10 2021. Let's use 2025. So after this, we're going to create two more TD tags. So for the TD tags, this is still going to be TD. We need another different text right inside them. Inside this one, we're going to have a span, and the span is going to have a class. The class here is going to be status, and pending. Take note, those are two different classes. So for the pending, the text here is going to be pending, and here we're going to have another span right inside this one span, and here the text is going to be, let's use $3,900. So let's see what that looks like. As you can see, it's going to look like what we want, but the image is still too big. So let's go ahead and complete the HTML before we start adding some styles to make it look beautiful. So what we're going to do next is create the remaining TR tags. So you can just copy and paste this. Let's see how many of them we have. We have 1, 2, 3. So we just need to paste 2 more to achieve what we have right here. So outside this one, I'm going to paste 1 and 2. So the image for the second one here is just going to be another random image. The name is going to be the same. I'm going to change this from pending to completed, and the price can stay the same. And also let's change this to processing. We need 1C right here, and let's change this to $1.9,000, and that should do it. This is beginning to look nice, but first let's go ahead and add our CSS to make it look beautiful. So let's head over to style.css and continue with our styles. This is what makes our chart work. So we're going to need this later. You have to delete this, we don't need it for now. So for the charts, what we have there is the information cards, then the chart. So for the information cards, we just need to get up here and add the class. The class was info cards container. That is the container that holds our cards. So we need display grid right here. We also need grid template columns. We're going to use repeat, and we need auto fit to make it responsive. We also need to target the min and max width of our cards. We're going to say min max, and inside the min max, we're going to have 40px 1fr. That is the min and max width of our card. So now let's see what it looks like. As you can see, this is just what we want. It's beginning to look responsive. So let's add the remaining styles. Here we need grid gap, and the grid gap here is going to be 20px. Next, we're going to add margin top. And the margin top here, let's set it to 6px. We don't need too much margin top, and that is looking beautiful. Next, we're going to target the card directly. So to target the card, just need to type in .info cards container, then .card. So here we're going to have display flex. We're also going to have align items. It's going to be center. Let's use center. And here we're going to have gap, and the gap is going to be 20px. After that, we need padding. The padding is going to be 20px. Now let's see what it looks like. As you can see, this is beginning to look nice. So next, we're going to style the icon. For the icon, let's push this down. For the icon, we just need to type in .info cards container .card. Then we're going to put the I tag right in front of the card to target it directly. So we need display flex right here, and next we're going to need justify content. It's going to be center. We also need align items here, and it's going to be center. This is what justify content center and align item center does, is to bring the icon to the center of the container. When I add the background color, you guys are going to notice. In fact, let's add the background color. Background color here is going to be blue soft. Now let's see what it looks like. You can't see that yet because we don't have the padding and the width. So let's go ahead and add the width. The width here is going to be 80px, and the height is going to be 30px. Now we're going to have border radius, and it's going to be 10px. The font size here to make the icons look larger is going to be 36px, and the padding is going to be for CPX. After that, we're going to add the color. Let's add the color next to the background color. The color here is going to be blue 200. As you can see, it now looks exactly like what we have right here. This looks quite nice. So let's see what it looks like in the dark mode. It doesn't look nice yet because we haven't styled the text. And if you notice, our search button is not available in the dark mode because we are still using the dark color. Let's look for it and fix the problem. This is the search button. Let's add the color. The color here is going to be dark. Now let's see what it looks like in the dark mode. That's fixed it. So let's go ahead and fix the card. So let's get down here. For the card text, we're going to need dot body dot dark. This is how we target the dark mode and make things look differently whenever we're in the dark mode. We're going to say dot body dot dark, then dot card I. And here we're going to change the background and the color. So let's change the background to gray in the dark mode, and let's change the color to blue 300. Now let's see what it looks like. That does not work. There seems to be a problem. Let's see what the problem is. This is the problem right here. I see dot body instead of just body. We don't add a full stop in front of the body tag, and that should work. As you can see, the background now changes whenever we're in the dark mode, and also the color of our icon. So next, let's style the info number and info text. So here we're going to say info number. So for the info number, we need font size, and the font size here is going to be 18px. We also need the color right here. The color is going to be dark. Let's set it to dark. And next, we're going to add font weight to make it look bolder, and the font weight is going to be 600. Let's see what it looks like. As you can see, it now looks much more nicer. Let's style the info text. Let's call it info type instead, since that is the class we use in HTML. So the info type here is going to have similar styles, so you can just copy and paste it and then change things around. Paste this right in here. The font size this time around is going to be 17px, and the font weight is going to be 400 to make it lighter. As you can see, it now looks quite nice, just like what you have right here. So this is what we want for the info cards, and they are also going to be responsive, unlike the chart and the user table. So let's go ahead and style the chart container to make it look beautiful. So just here for the chart container, let's type in chart container. That is the class we already have in HTML. Chart container. We don't need anything much in here. We just need the index to make sure it does not overlap other elements in our browser. And here we're also going to add the index 0, and this should do it for the chart. If we want to make things look beautiful, we need to target the container class that is holding the chart itself. Let's find it. This is the chart, and if you notice, we have other half right here. So let's just target the other half. Let's see dot other half. So for the other half, we just need a couple of styles. For the other half right here, let's see what we have right here in HTML. So this is our chart, and after that we have the table. Let's style the table first. That should make things easier. Let's say dot card header. This is for the table. Dot card header, and here we're going to have display flex. We're going to have align items. It's going to be center. Then after that we're going to have justify contents, and it's going to be set to space between. It seems there is something that is missing from our container right here. We have two icons right here, a search icon and filter icon, but I didn't create that. Let's go back to HTML and create it. So to create that, we just need to get right up there at the beginning of our table. So before the table and inside the span, after unsettled others, we're going to create another span. It's going to have a class, and the class here is going to be card icon container. Then in here we're going to have our two icons. The first one is going to be FAS fa-search, and the second one, let's just copy and paste. The second one is going to be fa-filter. Now let's see what it looks like. As you can see, that is our icon right there. So next, we're going to go ahead and continue with our styles.css. So the next style we need here for the card header is going to be a gap, and gap here is going to be 16 px. Then we also need margin bottom. Margin bottom here is going to be 24 px. And after that, we're going to style the card text, card head text. And for the card head text, we just need a couple of styles. The first one is going to be color, which is the dark. And next, we're going to have font size. The font size here is going to be 19 px, and font weight is going to be 600. This is our card header right here. It's beginning to look nice. That's just what we want for the card header. Next, we're going to start the card description. So just type in .card description. So for the card description, we have similar styles. You can just copy and paste again, and then change this around. For the card description, the font size is going to be 14 px, and we're going to remove the font weight. We don't need it for the description. Font size here is going to be 14 px. As you can see, that is just what we want for the card description. Then after that, we're going to create our content container class. Just type in .content container right here, and here we're going to have display flex. We're also going to have flex wrap to make it responsive. The content container is a container that manages every content right inside here. So we are going to set flex wrap, so wrap, and gap here is going to be 22 px. And after that, we're going to set margin top, so 24 px. And after that, we are also going to need width right here to make it stretch to the full width of our screen. Width here is going to be 100%. And let's see what that looks like. As you can see, it now brings everything to the center. What we have to do now is to style the other class. The other class is the class that holds every white card you can see right here. Apart from these two, we use other for the big ones and other half for the small ones. So let's type in .order. So for the .order, we need to set flex grow right here is going to be 2, and flex basis for the width, flex basis is going to be 500 px. Then we need display flex, and we also need flex direction. It's going to be column. Next, we're going to set align items to stretch, to make it stretch out to the full width of our container. And next, we're going to set border. We need border for the cards. The border here is going to be 1 px solid. We're going to use our variable color. It's going to be box shadow color. And after that, we need our box shadow. The box shadow here is going to be 0 px, 2 px. That's what it looks like here. As you can see, we have box shadow at every side of our card, apart from the left side. So what I'm going to do is set it to 0 px, 2 px, 10 px, and 1 px. This means that there will be little border at the right side, there will be no border at the left side. This is for top, bottom, left, and right. So here we're going to have our variable color for the box shadow. So let's set it to box shadow color. And after that, we're going to set the color of our card. Let's to dark. It's going to be dark. And we need border radius next. Border radius here is going to be 10 px to make the card look curvy. And next, I'm going to set the background to light. We also need padding and to add some space inside the card. Padding here is going to be 24 px, and overflow is going to be auto, which means that whenever an element spills out of our card, it will be possible to scroll them just like this. So let's see what it looks like. As you can see, our card is beginning to look nice, but the image still looks quite large. We need to reduce the image width and height to make it look nice. So let's go ahead and continue with our card. What I'm going to do next is to remove scroll from the card so it doesn't look ugly. So just type in .order, and we're going to have our WebKit scroll bar. So we're going to set it to display none. And next we're going to start our other half. So for the other half, we just have to set display flex, and next we're going to need flex. We need flex direction. We just need, let's see, we need the exact same things we have right inside here, but we're going to change this around just a little. You can just copy and paste that. This time around, the flex screw is going to be 1, and the flex basis is going to be 350. That is the width of that is going to be 350. This the other half is the card, sorry, the container that holds the chart right here, and the transaction card. So let's go ahead and continue. We're going to have to start the table right here to make it look nice. As you can see, our chart is beginning to look nice already. It's going to look like just what we have right here. So let's go ahead and continue. After our other half, we're going to have our card icon container. Let's type in that card icon container, and inside it we're going to have display flex. Next we're going to have align items, and it's going to be center. Then after that we need our gap, and the gap is going to be 10 px. Now the card icon container is for these two icons right here. We'll add some gap and display flex to the icons, and next we're going to target the icons directly. So I'm going to say that card icon container, and we're going to have our I tag right in front of it. So let me set the font size, so 14 px, to make the icons look smaller. So that's all we want for the icon. Next we're going to go ahead and style the table. Let's make the table look much more beautiful. So for the table, I just going to say that contents container, I will target the table. I will say that other, then table. That is to target the table tab directly. So I'm going to say width. The width here is going to be 100%, and border collapse. Let's set border collapse. So collapse. That's what that looks like. It doesn't do anything because we don't have any border for the table, and we don't need any border. We can just go ahead and continue without the border. So next I'm going to target the ch, which is the header of our table, the header right here that says other dates, user status, and price. So let's say content container, and we're going to have dots other table, and we're going to have ch. So here what we need, that is correct, there is no mistake. We need padding here, padding bottom, it's going to be 12 px, and next we're going to need font size. The font size here is going to be 13 px, and next we need text align, and it's going to be left. And lastly here we're going to have border bottom. The border bottom is going to be 1 px solid. Let's use gray, which is a color variable we already have. As you can see, our little border bottom is already there. So what we're going to do next is style the TD, which is the container that holds this price, the pending, and the dates right here before we style the image. So you can just copy and paste this and change this around if it's too much to type it every time. So for the TD, we just need to set padding to 16 px, and we are going to have 16 px 0. That means there will be no padding at the left and right side, but there will be padding at the top and bottom of our TD. So next we're going to have font size to reduce the text. The font size here is going to be 14 px. You can just copy and paste what we copied before. Just paste what we copied before and change this around. This time around we're going to have table tr cd, and then first child, and in here we need display flex. We're going to have align items center. Then next we need grid gap, and grid gap here, let's just use gap instead of grid gap. Gap here is going to be 12 px. Then padding left is going to be 6 px. Now let's see what it looks like. As you can see, this is our TD. It's beginning to look nice. We already reduced the text size, and that's made it look much more nicer. So after that, we're going to style the image. It's now time to reduce the image width and size, and also make them look nice. So for the image, you can just paste this in, and we're going to say TD img. For the image, we just need to reduce the width and height. So to do that, we need to set width to 36 px and height to 36 px. Also need border radius to make the image look curvy. Border radius, and we're going to have 50%. Then we're going to have object fit, and it's going to be covered to make the image responsive. As you can see, this is now looking much more nicer. This is beginning to look like just what we have right here. So let's go ahead and continue with the pending. We need to change the background color of the pending, but we're going to make it reusable, so we don't have to create the same style every single time. So let's go ahead and continue. Now for the pending, all we have to do is get down here. That is an indicator. All we have to do is get down here. We need to style our TR for the last time before we continue with other elements. So let's target the table. Then I will say T body and TR. Here we're going to add border bottom, and we're going to add one px solid. We're going to use our variable to target the box shadow color, and that should add some border below our containers. So let's go ahead and continue. Next, we're going to style the employee details. So let's say that's employee. Let's style the status first before we continue. Let's see what we have right here. We'll have the status, so let's style it first before we continue with the employee details. Let's say that status. Our status, we need font size. The font size is going to be 10 px, and padding here, let's set padding to 6 px. We need padding for top, bottom, left, and right. So I'm going to say 6 px and 26 px. And after that, we're going to set the border radius of the status to 20 px. And font weight here is going to be 700 to make the text look large. Sorry, not large, make it look bold. So after that, we're going to style different status. As you can see, the text is going to look like what we want, but the background is not quite there yet. So what we need to do is type in that status and then that's completed. We're going to be using different colors and backgrounds. So all we have to do is type in background, and the background here is going to be green soft. The next one is style the color, and the color here is going to be green 200. This is going to be green 200. And after that, we can also copy and paste this a few more times to achieve the remaining two status. Copy and paste this. The second one is going to be yellow soft, and the third one is going to be red soft. For the yellow soft, we need the color to be yellow soft, and for the red soft, we need the color to be red 100. Now let's see what that looks like. This does not look nice. There seems to be a problem. We are using the same classes here: completed. Let's change this to process, and let's change this to pending. That should work. It works, but it seems they are all using the same classes in HTML. So let's look for it. This is it right here. For the processing, we need the pending class, and for complete, we need the complete class. Or let's use completed, because that is what we have right there. And for pending, we need the pending. For processing, I think let's see what we have for processing. For pending, we have red, and for processing, we have pending. Then here we're going to have, let's see, this is process, the red one. So let's add process right here. Process. Now let's see what that looks like. As you can see, this is just what we want, but it seems they are using different colors. Let's use pending for this one, then use process for this one, and that should fix it. As you can see, this is just what we want. And this guide brings us to the end of this part 2 of our project. And if you really enjoyed this part of our project, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below. See you guys in the next project. Goodbye.